We're staying action. So you talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes. What got you, I guess, a fan of the Buckeyes? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, I was born in Ohio. I lived there for 13 years. Lived about 180 miles away from Columbus. And when we moved down here to Tennessee when I'm in my freshman year, it was really hard to keep up with them because they weren't on every Saturday like they were so much in Ohio. And they really actually just started to get really, really, really good when we moved down here too. And if it wasn't for the internet, I wouldn't be able to keep up with them, and I wouldn't be able to find out how they're doing on for every game. But luckily, I can find that out pretty easily. And they're my hometown team. They always have been. When I moved to Tennessee, I missed them.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite player, at least right now, or just all time?
Of all time, I guess the best all-time player who stayed in college, I would say, was Eddie George, and he also was a really good pro player for Tennessee Titans. Right now, I would say one of my favorites is a guy named James Laurinaitis. He was a linebacker, and he plays for the St. Louis Rams right now. And he was a great leader of the team and just one of the guys who did everything right. Just a hard-hitting player, but, not dirty.
So does that make you a Rams fan now?
No, it doesn't. But I'd be lying if I said that I wouldn't secretly go for some of the players who play on separate NFL teams because our cornerback plays for the New Orleans Saints, and we have our former quarterback, Terrell Pryor, who actually had a little bit of leaving in shame from Ohio State. He plays for the Oakland Raiders. So some of these teams that I really don't even care for or care to watch, I just keep up with them because I just want to know how they're doing.
So did you ever think about going to Ohio State?
Oh, many times. Many times. If I was still living in Ohio, I'd like to think that's where I would be going. It was always a dream of mine to go to Ohio State. Living here in Tennessee, it was a little hard. First, the out-of-state tuition. Of course, living up there on my own. My dad said it was a huge campus and it's easy to get lost in. So I guess that kind of scared me a little bit, and it was always just a dream that I wanted to go there.
But you're now a Memphis Tiger.
I am. I'll die a Buckeye nut, but I'll graduate a Tiger.
That's good. So I'm guessing you watched the last the big rival Michigan-Ohio State game. What were your feelings on this? I heard they lost, right?
They lost.
But I heard it wasn't that big of a beat, was it?
It wasn't. Well, we lost by 3 points, I believe it was. And the way that Ohio State season went that year, it was just ultimately not going to be a good outlook for the last game against Michigan, who had been doing really, really well this year. They were ranked. They're coming off two, mediocre seasons in the past couple of years. Ohio State coming off, a few good years, and now we're into a rebuilding stage after Coach Tressel and our quarterback left. A lot of suspensions hurt them too, but like I told everybody, it's the game, and as far as the game goes, you can throw the record book out the window. This is about, you don't want to hit the guy, you want to hit the guy, and you want to make him hurt. So it was good to watch. I'd be lying if I wasn't sort of happy Michigan won because now it's a rivalry again. We won 7 straight against them, and so the last time we lost to them was in 2003.
That's awesome. Okay.
And also during that during that game, I actually had to do a project for the reporting class that I'm in, and so I had to kind of focus on what I was doing. So I had to say, okay, I can cheer. I was like, and I still got to go talk to people now.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I saw on your blog you talked to a Michigan State fan or Michigan fan. How did you know him? Was he just like a friend of yours, or was it just, hey, Michigan fan, come here?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine, and he's been going for Michigan as long as we've been friends, and I've been friends with him for over 10 years. He surprised me with the interview because I thought he was just, one of those, go for Michigan, I hate Ohio State type of guys. But he really has a respect for Ohio State, and it really showed in the answers that he gave. And I told him I was the same way. It's not that I hate Michigan. It's, I definitely have a respect for them. They're definitely an institution of football, and we both agreed to go for one, you have to go against the other.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a really good guy to interview for that subject, and I was really glad to do it.
Okay. How did you feel about the whole season overall of this season for Buckeyes? Was it good, bad? What were your thoughts on it?
Well, it doesn't give us any justice that we finished the season 6-6, I believe. So we finished right even. We didn't really have that big of a shot at the Big Ten championship game, and this was a year that we were reloading and also rebuilding. We had a lot of new freshmen come in, especially a redshirt quarterback. We had some of our leaders suspended, and DeVere Posey, Mike Adams-Thomas. There was just a lot of off-the-field issues going on for Ohio State this year, but the important thing was that they still took the field every Saturday. They played as hard as they could, and they had some good key wins this season, especially in the month of October when they played nothing but ranked teams, especially pulling up 2 in a row against Illinois and then beating Wisconsin. That was a monumental win for us this year.
Okay. Well, all right then.
Thank you.